Okay.
Good afternoon. Hello, young scientists. It is almost time, so let's give another minute for everyone to join us live. We'll keep it quiet for the next 30 seconds. And we will start soon. Hello, and welcome again to our daily science with High Touch, High Tech. My name is Dr. G, and here with me today, staying safe at home, are Lightning Liam and Electric E, also known as Electric Eli. So today we are going to talk about some very special thing that flies, which is helicopter. But before we start talking about helicopters, I want to make sure that you all have the supplies for our experiment. So the first thing that you will need is the printout, the template that you received with the experiment today. You can find it in the email that you received. You will also need scissors. Make sure that you ask an adult what kind of scissors you can use. And the last thing that you will need are paper clips. You can use larger paper clips, smaller paper clips. If you have several kinds, bring them all. We're going to experiment with them, okay? So bring whatever paper clip you have. Several options are better. Okay, so while you're gathering those materials, let's talk about some things that fly. Can you think of anything that can fly? Yes, Eli.
Does that include an animal?
Yeah, it can include an animal. That's good. Do you know any animal that flies?
Let's see. Peregrine falcon.
Yeah, falcons fly. Very good.
A missile.
Missile flies. Okay. What else?
Airplane flying.
Airplanes flying. Very good.
Viruses travel on air currents.
Yeah. Very
So
good.
basically they can fly. Airplanes.
Viruses?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know about viruses that can fly.
But they can travel on the air current.
They cannot fly by themselves. They can be moved by the air. You're right. But that's different. I wouldn't call it flying. Something that can be moved by the air. It's not an action of flying. But birds, right? Airplanes, missiles.
Does air count?
Well, not quite.
No.
So you probably at home think about some other things that can fly. So what is in common to most of the things that we think of that can fly? Do you know?
A lot of people think about airplanes. Well, maybe not a lot of people think about helicopters,
But what do birds and airplanes have in common?
they go off the ground.
Okay. What do they have? What part helps them to get off the ground? Wings, right? Most of the things that we think about that can fly have wings. Liam, Eli, do you have wings?
No.
Do you think you can fly?
No.
No? Yeah, let's try. Why don't you jump and try to see if you can fly? Make sure you're doing it safely.
Okay.
It's not quite, right? You didn't stay in
Let's see
the
if
air.
I can. Run!
Okay. No.
Okay.
Neither Liam nor Eli could fly. Do you know why? What brought you back to the ground?
Gravity.
Gravity, right. We humans cannot fly because what will happen to us?
We will be wait. Can I?
Because of gravity, right? Gravity will pull us down. So what happens to birds? What happens to airplanes? How do they take off and stay in the air?
I think there's like machines have jets
So
that will like lift
very good.
break the gravitational.
Overcome the force of gravity. Very good. Yes.
Well, I wouldn't say helicopters would have wings, but they have propellers, which aren't wings, but they're kind of related.
Okay, very good. So what Jim and Eli said are correct, and you probably also guessed the same at home. So the wings that birds have and the wings that airplanes have allow them to overcome the force of gravity. And this other force that is generated is called lift. Can you all say lift?
Lift.
Yeah, lift is acting against gravity and allowing airplanes and birds to take off. So what about helicopters? Where do helicopters get their lift from? Do you know?
They get their lift from air.
From air? Well, yeah. But they don't have wings, so what do they have, Liam?
Well, their propellers.
Propellers, yeah.
Fly around so fast that two things happen.
Yeah.
First of all, it cuts through the
Overcomes.
gravitational force, which overcomes the force.
Yeah.
And second reason is like when that happens, air comes down. So let's say like the helicopter's here, the air comes down.
And that creates the lift. Very good. So I'll just repeat what Liam said here, and you may guess it at home too. That what happens in helicopters is that they don't have wings, but instead they have rotors, right? Or blades that create the same effect as what we see with airplanes. The wings are generating the lift and allowing what? Allowing the helicopter to take off. That's what allows it to take off, what allows it to hover, and what allows it to descend without really going forward, right? So that's pretty cool. Now we're going to actually build a model. By the way, friends, if you don't remember, what is model? What is model?
It's not the same thing, but it's like a little. Well, it can be a big thing, but a lot of things to a big thing, you would make a little thing.
Yeah.
And then go up, but we're going to start with a little thing.
Okay, so what is a model?
A model is
something
that like shows. Let's say it will kind of be like copying.
Yeah,
but
very
like
good.
not the same.
Something that shows us how things behave, right? So it's not the same, but it's a model. So our model will be from paper, and it will imitate exactly, or very, to some extent, how helicopter works. So the first thing that I want you to do is to take your template, and I'll bring it close to you, and I want you to cut it around the edges, just around the edges, okay? And I'll do it with you. Liam and Eli will be here with us, also doing it side by side, and we'll move to the next step. So go ahead and cut out around the edges. You can do it.
I've done it.
If you need the assistance of an adult, I'm sure there is an adult at home with you. So just go ahead and ask for help, especially for our younger friends. By the way, if you're watching it live or watching later the recording, you can send questions to us. And if we see it before we finish our recording, we would love to answer it. Otherwise, we'll send an answer later. Okay, so this is where we are, right? Perfect. Okay, so I hope all my friends got to this point. Very good. And now we are moving to the next stage, which is just to cut along this middle line. Make sure you stop here Okay, so go ahead and just cut along the middle line. And while we are doing it and finishing up preparing our model, I want you to think, my friends, is there anything in nature that behaves a little bit like helicopter? So we live in Maine and we see it often around us. Yes, Liam, any idea?
Kind of like what people also call helicopters that fall from the tree. I don't know how to define them. I haven't seen one in a long time, but like they spin around and
The maple leaf.
Oh, okay, maybe they're maple leaves.
Yeah. So if you have a maple tree around your home, the maple seeds are actually behaving like the two blades of the helicopter. So if you don't have them right now because it's not the right season, just remember it when they do appear again and try to do what we're doing right now with the maple seeds. So I hope that at this point, that by now you're at this point, you have this cut, right? And the last thing that we are going to do, or the last two things, is to fold one of the blades, so it behaves like the two blades of the helicopter, forward, and fold the other one backward. So it will be really nice if you have a sibling that does it with you. Maybe you can switch. So one of you can do take the right one and move it forward, and the other will do the opposite. And then you can experiment with it next. Let's see if they behave differently. Okay?
Can I put the feet?
Yeah. Ready? Everyone ready? Okay, last step. I know sometimes I say one last step more than once, but that's really the last step, is to put your paper clip, okay? So the paper clip, let me get close to the camera again so you can see. You have a little spot here where the paper clip will go, and we will soon see also how we can experiment with it. So take whatever paper clip you have, and now we have a little model of our paper copter, right? Let's see how it works. I'm going to adjust the camera so you can see how it flies. Having some height. Friends, if you are getting high off the ground on a chair, please ask an adult that is at home with you whether that's okay to do it. Yeah, Liam, can you take it really high? Okay. No, just the paper copter, not you. Okay, can we see it again from the top? Okay, so you see, to just adjust the camera. So you see it's rotating and descending, going down really nicely, just like a helicopter would go. Remember what it does, it's generating the lift. Just the same force that airplanes and birds are generating with their wings. So what I want you to do at home are the following things. First, maybe you can add a heavier paper clip or two paper clips and see how does it affect it. Will it make your paper copter land faster or slower?
And so I'm predicting and then I'll see what happens.
Yeah, so Liam predicts.
I'm thinking that it will land faster and it will spin less.
Interesting. Okay, very good.
I have two heavy I have two heavy paper clips, and looks like it is at the top. It starts just falling, but then it starts spinning. Like what else?
So faster or slower?
Faster.
Does it spin more or less?
More.
More. Okay, very good. Another thing that you can try, remember that I said earlier, if you're doing it with a sibling, just a second, if you're doing it with a sibling, one of you can follow the instructions where it's written fold forward and the opposite will be back. And the other can do exactly the opposite, right? And try to see if it changes the direction in which our paper copter will
Let's see if
spin.
it does.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I just folded the other way.
Did it change the direction?
A little bit.
Well,
Do we change that? It changes the spinning direction.
It changed the spinning direction. What do you think will happen if we fold both of them in the same direction? Will it still rotate?
No.
No, that's a good prediction. You wanna test it?
It just falls to the ground.
It just falls down to the ground. Yeah.
That's why that didn't work.
So, friends, you can continue and experiment with your paper copter. Now you have all the ideas. Maybe you have some ideas that we didn't think about, so go ahead and share with us.
Those things.
It will be very great, really great if you can post some of your paper copters. Maybe you are in a house that has several stories and you can go to the second floor and see your paper copter landing all the way down, descending. And remember everything we learned about, right? So how does helicopter fly?
It rotates.
The blades are generating
Energy.
the force that's called lift, right? And as a result, it can overcome gravity and it can get off the ground. So have fun exploring your paper copter and we will see you again tomorrow.